Good evening, it's Matt Rogers and welcome back. I'm now back home from my short holiday and it's good to be home now. So let's just carry on and show you what's going up there in the skies, because it's very important that we continue the work to show you the truth of what's going on. You can see on this Alaska cam, this false past cam, and this is east in Alaska, and Friday the 2nd of June 2017. And also as well, just want to let you know as well that we here in the UK are having some strange weather patterns right now at the moment. There was a short period of rain here in the northeast of the UK, and it was like it was hailstones, small hailstones that were pelting down for about 5 minutes, and then it stopped. Now we're seeing lots of different strangeness in the skies right now. As you can see on this cam here as well, you've got these grey clouds that are below the low clouds that we see, these strange clouds full of chemicals. And again we've got these high chemicals as well up there in the skies as well, and the natural clouds, as you can see here on the horizon over here and here as well, that are just being burnt away. And also it's too dark, very much dark now here in the UK. We're getting this dim sky, and also we're getting these strange thick cloudings that move in front of the sun very slowly, and then they just stay there. Everything else moves. All the other clouds are moving about as if they're being moved by the wind, the natural weather patterns. But this other cloud, this strange cloud, just slowly moves in front of the sun, and it stays there. It doesn't move anywhere, it just stays there. And it's, I mean, this is being all controlled by HAARP and other technology. I mean, we're seeing this, aren't we, all the time? I mean, the whole of the earth now is seeing the same weather pattern. It's not now as if the northern hemisphere is very damp and the southern hemisphere is very hot. We're now getting the same weather patterns all across the globe. We are seeing the same skies, all of us. Now that just shows you, and that's evidence, isn't it, that there's something wrong right now. They are spraying the whole world, okay? The military, from different organisations and governments around the world. We're seeing this, aren't we? And the sun is now burning through those chemtrails, and it's burning through a lot of the I mean, this situation is getting out of hand now, isn't it? I mean, these corona holes are huge. I mean, we have got this system that's coming in now, and seeing this on the screen is just absolutely 100% that we've got a huge problem now, haven't we? Okay, I've caught something very interesting on this cam as well. Very, very interesting, and I will show you this now, but it's so evident that we've got another heavenly body that's showing itself now. As you can see on the right hand side, you can see where the sun's coming up. Here, the sun comes up. Okay, now just keep a note on this area here. You will see another body coming up and then it goes down. It's trying to show itself, and I believe this to be the sun's companion star. I mean, watch this. Can you see this? You see this, can't you? This is from this huge red reflection that we see. The plasma from the sun is coming up on the right hand side, and this will be the companion star. Can you see this? You can see it trying to light up on the horizon. And this red reflection is coming up as well. Here you will see the plasma coming from the sun. The Sol, our sun that comes up in the sky, that's been affected by the binary twin. I mean, you can see this. And then it goes away again. Chemtrails covering it all the time. This is why we're heating up. This is why the Earth is now at boiling point. This is a situation, I mean, yesterday was far too hot. This object is too close for comfort now, isn't it? I mean, it's so evident. I mean, look at this. Let me zoom in for you. Okay, I've zoomed in now, so I'm going to now show you this. Can you see this? You can see where the plasma's coming up from the sun, And there's an object just here. It's just showing itself on the horizon. Here it is again. You can see this, can't you, the way it moves? It's moving across the horizon, dipping down. All the time we're seeing this now. I've zoomed in one more time. Here it is. You can see that. It's just so clear now, isn't it? I mean, you just can't deny that now, can you? There is something that's out there. I mean, it's a situation now, isn't it? I mean, everything is showing absolutely right that we've got those objects that are out there in space now and in a solar system. They're just there now. It's evident. You could see this on the screen. This red array that's coming through before the sun comes up. This is definitely from the binary twin and the Nibiru system. This is all coming in now. You can see this celestial object that's up there now, can't you? There it is again, look, see? There's another object, another star up there that's coming in. It's heading our way now. Okay, we've got another interesting image on the screen here. This I believe to be Nibiru, a huge reflection coming from north. And this is the Berners Bay Cam in Alaska. Many fantastic Americans out there in the USA, the subscribers that are viewing the channel, and many other people around the world that are very supportive and watching everything that's going on, because we're all seeing the same thing all the time now. Every single one of us are seeing the skies have changed. Every single one of us are seeing those chem planes, and now we're seeing some very strange sundowns and sunrises. It's very important to keep an eye on these sundowns and sunrises all the time. It's very important, because here again on this cam you can see this, can't you? This dated today, the 2nd of June 2017, and there's something there, isn't there, up in the skies? I mean, let me go through the cam. Okay, there's something there. Okay, now it's very chemy up there in the skies on this cam. But you can see that it's still there, isn't it? Go through the image, look. It's moving now, it's moving up a bit now. And it's disappeared. So, again, it's just pinpointing every single piece of evidence to show you that there's objects that are being chemtrailed. They're hiding it all the time. You can see this, can't you? There's an object that's up there, and this is what it looks like as the sun's rising. Now, this is coming from north, okay? We need to look north all the time. You can see the timestamp here as well is 3:21:48 seconds. It's early morning sunrise, and you can see this on the opposite side. Just another piece of evidence to show you, isn't it, that there's something that's up there that's this colour. And when I look at the NASA cams, as I've showed you before, you can see that those red, pink and dark red reflections on the Earth, you can see this reflection coming from another strange object up there, I believe to be Nibiru. It's definitely here now. It really is. And everything is heating up. Everything in the inner solar system now is heating up all the time. Here's another image as well on a Trading Bay East cam. Okay, now this is also in Alaska, and I've zoomed into this piece of footage. Now there's something through those cams. There's a shadow, isn't there? Something large, an object. I don't know. It's just very interesting to see that. It really was. So I just thought I'd show you this piece of footage as well. I've been changing its I've enhanced it and what have you like, and it just looks very strange. It's burning through, is it? I don't know. It's just there and just looked very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go into another piece of footage for you now. Okay, I'm going to show you this couple of pieces of images, okay, on this cam. This is a King Cove and it's pointing east. And like the other cam image I showed you of that object that was moving across the horizon. Now, when the sun comes up, it doesn't cause a red reflection to the right hand side or the left hand side. There's something else that's out there. We know now that this has to be Nibiru. It has to be the brown dwarf star. These objects are now in front of our sun. And I'll show you this, okay? Very important. Can you see this red reflection coming up now? You can see this, can't you? This is not from our sun. This is from another object that's coming up to the left-hand side. You can see this here, can't you? Just under those mountains on the horizon. There's something else coming up before the sun comes up. Can you see this? And again, they are spraying our skies all the time through the early hours of the morning, through to the day and night, to cool our atmosphere down, because these objects are incoming now. We have never seen chemtrails as thick as these before in our entire lives. These are getting so much thicker now. And look on this image, look on the ground, it's far too dry. It really is getting dry now. The only thing that's cooling it down at the moment are those chemtrails, because if they weren't there, our lifelines disappeared, because the natural clouds have disappeared. It's again about preparing for this, because last year we were looking at the skies, weren't we, and doing video footage and images, and it wasn't as bad as this. Those chems were quite high up in the air, but now they're very low. And now we're seeing this red reflection a lot stronger. Okay, this is a very interesting cam image as well, and I'd like to point out a few things on this image. Now, if you look at it first off, okay, it just looks quite normal to a normal person, you know, to somebody that's not awake to the truth. Now to us, we can see those chemtrails, can't we? And we can see that that simulator is in front of the sun, because it's, again, as I said before, it's too dim on the ground. Now for the time of the year, it's supposed to be nice, and the trees, the bushes, the greenery, the grass, nothing. It's just very dried up, isn't it? Very unhealthy. But if you look closely to the 7 o'clock position of the sun, here, you can just see an object, okay, just here. It's brightening up, just here. You can see this. There's a celestial body that's there. You can just see this now, can't you? It's getting a lot bigger, and we've seen this on the Mexico cams. That's what I can see on there. You can see this too now, can't you? Okay, I've noticed something on this this image. Okay, this is another Alaska cam. Now, I've had to really stare at this image really hard, because that to me looks very much like something else than anything else that we know of. I mean, this isn't Mars, is it? This isn't the moon. There's nothing else I can think of. But can you see, though, which I'm just trying to figure out with this, can you see how it lights up on the left hand side? Can you see this as it's close near to the sun? It's a red object. You can see this clearly, can't you, on the screen? I believe that there is something out there, something big. Now, I mean, if this is wormwood, then we're in trouble, aren't we? Because it seems to be very much in front of the sun now. This simulator is finding it very difficult to hide these objects up now in the skies. But I mean, the image just blew me away when I first saw it. I mean, let me zoom in a bit more to it. I've zoomed in now, and you can see this, can't you? Clearly see that is something else that's out there. I mean, it's red, it's huge, it's big, and it's to the right hand side there of the sun. Now we're getting a red reflection on sunrise. You know, when the sun's rising, we get this red reflection on the right hand side. Prep Aussie said, and sent me some images in, that there's an object on the right hand side. There's something clearly out there now. Now, I did them videos over the holiday period, and I wanted to use my other devices to try and get the images out there and zoom into things and what have you, but I only had my my iPad and other things, so I've just focused on the chemtrails because I couldn't zoom in properly to anything at that point in time. So I'm just glad to be back home now to pick up other things, because sadly they are chemtrailing so much now, and trying to zoom up and take photographs of the sky right now is very difficult, because every single day, we all know this, that they are chemtrailing our skies on the horizons all the time. I mean, where's the money coming from? And they're saying that we're in debt. The government is saying that we're causing the debt, us, humanity, the public. I mean, what a joke. I mean, they're evidently spraying our skies, wasting all that money, and they're not saying a complete word. So, again, when I watch news media, I don't believe a word they say. I really don't. This government-run elections here in the UK, and I mean, they always pass the buck to each other, don't they? They're never a straight answer. They always lie. They always try and spin a nursery rhyme for us, humanity, to believe it and think, oh yeah, excellent, this is all good, isn't it? The weather channels, they don't mention chemtrails at all. We can see this in our skies now. We can see that clouds are changing because the Earth's magnetic pull to the Nibiru's magnetic pull is affected. It's affecting everything. We're catching these objects now. We really are. And it's so important that we get this word out there, because no one else, no news media, no government-run organisations are mentioning a single word, because deep down they just think of themselves. They're thinking of themselves. They are spending trillions of dollars building them underground cities. The shadow government have been doing this. The powers to be have been working on this for a long time, a very, very long time. We would all be shocked if we found out the real truth. We would be. Because that's why Phil Snyder lost his life. That's why Lloyd Pye lost his life. And Dr. Harrington also lost. I mean, there's hundreds of people that, from NASA, scientists, have lost their lives. There was one that was flying his aeroplane, and it just fell out the sky. I mean, but the thing is, government-run organisations know that humanity will just forget about it and just carry on. We're being fooled all the time. The banking system is just a wicked game to keep us in the loop, keep us check. It's a vicious circle that we're never going to get out of. The only way we're going to do this is to stand up to them, which is going to be very difficult because they've got us now. It's too late. But they're very worried about this incoming celestial object. These objects, they just know that something huge is going to happen. They are panicking. They can't stop it. They really can't stop this now. All they can do is spray our skies every single day to hide what's going on up there in the heavens. We have got those celestial bodies that are coming in now. We really have. I'm going to go to another image for you, but that is just something else, isn't it? I mean, you can't deny that image, can you? I mean, here's another part of the image on the cam as well. I mean, you can see that, can't you? I mean, again, I know I repeat things. It's just I want to get the word out there. Because, again, as I said earlier on, that it's so easy to forget things, isn't it? And just move along to the next situation, isn't it? I mean, there's been so much information that's been given out by this huge event that's on its way now. I mean, my granddad many years ago had said that in my lifetime something huge is going to happen. And it will. And I believe him. I mean, there's so many people out there that are genuine, that are seeing things now and doing so much fantastic work out there. Many people that are open to the truth, that are just seeing the truth now, aren't they? And we're seeing these objects, aren't we? I mean, I saw that object again, as I said before, up in Hull last year. I saw it on the 25th of July 2016, last summer. It was there. It was there, 100%. I was very shocked, but we just got to carry on, haven't we? We really have to carry on. So, I'm going to zoom in on this. Hold on a second, please. Here it is zoomed in. As I said before, though, I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm no magician I'm just me, just like yourselves. I'm just a person that wants to see the truth. I just want to find out what's going on. I really do. And the more images I produce on the screen, and that makes me feel better, because it just shows that I want to show you what I see. Everything I see out there, because it has been getting a lot darker up there in the skies. It really has. We're seeing huge shadows up there as well, and it upsets me, because even my wife spoke to me yesterday and said, look, Matthew, it's getting, these chemtrails are getting to be a joke now. I mean, there's far too many of them that are being sprayed. I mean, she's looking up all the time now as well and seeing it, and it upset her yesterday, because she'd never seen it as bad as this before, and said, look, are we going to be all right? And I said, I'm sure we're going to be fine. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to go into detail. I don't want to worry anybody. I'm not here to worry anybody at all. I just hope that every single person is going to be safe with this. I really do. But it's only producing the work and talking through this to let you know what I see. It's so clear now, isn't it? We're seeing these. I mean, I've noticed other objects. I know that there might be markings on the screen or what have you on other video cams and things, or even when you're pointing to the sun, you get a glare and things like that. I know what I'm looking at. But when you see those red reflections on the horizon, and you see the evidence that they're pouring these toxins up in the skies more than ever, because I've been studying it now for a whole year, and I've noticed that they have been spraying far too much. And again, we've got to ask ourselves a real serious question as well, that why is the sun still at its solar maximum? I mean, the corona holes have got so bad now, haven't they? They've got bigger now. It's not going to give up. I mean, through the winter period, they're spraying the skies as well. I mean, you've got to think back now. Think back. Think out of the box. Think back to the time when you was about 10 years ago. There was none of this, was there? There was none of these dark skies, this dark clouding. There was none of these objects that were showing up now on the horizons, this huge plasma, this red reflection, this orange haze from the binary twin nemesis. There was none of it. We would get like a red sky at night, shepherd's delight, once in a blue moon. It was very rare. But now we're seeing a lot of changes up there now, aren't we? Even the moon. The moon looks strange. I mean, they chemtrailed the moon last night, if anybody's listening from the UK, and in the USA and other parts of Australia and Far East countries and Russia, anywhere on the earth. If you look at the moon, you will notice that they're chemtrailing the moon as well. It's very strange colours up there as well. And I know that they're trying to cool the atmosphere down, because the sun is at its solar maximum. We're being bombarded by these super solar flares now that are billions of miles long. They really are. We're just a speck. But the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is they're trying to cover the whole globe to do this, to cool the whole globe down. And by doing this, the moon also, I mean, why are they doing this to the moon? Why are they chemtrailing the moon? It doesn't make sense. Because I noticed, okay, I thought to myself last night, I was studying the moon, and I thought, right, okay, they are spraying all the skies so it will move towards the sun, okay, to cover the sun, to protect us. Now, after thinking that through, I started seeing 5 or 6 planes just concentrating on the area of the moon. They were crisscrossing the moon. I mean, it looked like a jigsaw puzzle. I mean, crossword. I mean, the thing is, crisscrossing the moon, just that part of the sky. Now, why would they do that? Now, I thought to myself, again, as I've said on another video, why? Because the moon doesn't emit any heat, does it? I mean, it's just a celestial rock out there in space that doesn't do anything, just orbits our Earth as a stabilizer to our Earth. I mean, that's all it does. And I thought to myself then, hold on a second, I'm thinking now they're just doing this to cover the sun, and now it's just a very... They should be telling us now, shouldn't they? They really now should be telling us the truth of what's going on, because it really upsets me that people walk around and they just don't look up, they're not interested. And it's a huge, huge deal to us, isn't it? It really is, because we've got loved ones, we've got young ones and our families that their future is ahead of them, and they're breathing this in as well as us. They really are now. Let me zoom into this image. I've just zoomed in a little bit more as well. So what I'm going to do is as well, for the next video or so, I'm going to show you some brilliant images from other subscribers around the world, because a kind subscriber called Ron, he sent some fantastic images in, and other people as well. A lady called Stephanie, she lives in the USA, fantastic lady, sent some absolutely amazing footage as well. And also Paul from Leeds in the UK, fantastic guy that's followed the channel all the way through. So Paul, respect to you, mate. And Charlie Mitchell as well, fantastic guy from London. I mean, there's so many people, there's lots of people that's emailing in with different images and different statements of what they've seen in the skies. And do you know what? The real crazy thing about it, well, it's not crazy, is it? I mean, the thing is, right, that shocks me, that no one knows each other. Well, they do, but you know, like say if you've got Charlie Mitchell from London, okay, and then you've got somebody from Boston in the USA. Now, you get 2 emails in, okay, and they are saying that they've seen this object, exactly the same statement, okay, of the same object, the same detail, of 2 different people that don't even know each other. I mean, come on, that says it all, doesn't it? That this is a true situation, isn't it? They're seeing the same thing, and they've never spoke to each other ever before in their lives. Never. Absolutely crazy. Okay, I've gone to another cam, okay? Now this is called the Shishmar cam northeast. And again, it's Friday the 2nd of June 2017. And I want to point something out on this cam. Again, it just looks normal to a lot of people, the members of the public around the world, but to me and you, it doesn't look normal at all. You've got that simulator in front of the sun, and again, the skies are far too dark. Now, I want to show you something that they use as a cloaking device. I've noticed this before. If you look here on the cam, can you see this? There's something that's blocking this area here. You can see this line, can't you? Okay? There's something here. If I show you now, if I go back here, hold on, sorry. Hold on, 2 seconds. Okay, I apologise about that. Here we go though. You can see this, can't you? Right. If I go here, there's this line. Okay, now these lines supposed to be going out. I mean, you're supposed to get a clear line, reflection from the sun. Okay, but it stops here and here. There's a gap missing. Can you see this now? There's gaps missing. This line's supposed to be beaming out. Okay, but look here. If I zoom into this, right, it's very important. Here it is, okay, but if I zoom in, if I come to this part, you can see it clearly, can't you? There's a piece missing up here. You can see this, there's a piece missing. There's a cloaking device around the sun on the left hand side here. I believe it probably to be right round it. I mean, look at this. Something's been morphed out. I mean, the reflection stops, it breaks. Can you see this? Again, here. Very strange, isn't it? I mean, you can see that, can't you? I mean, all around the world now on this image, I mean, we're seeing this all the time now, aren't we? We're seeing those chemtrails as the sun rises, and we're seeing that red reflection on the horizon of another body that's in front of our sun. We know this now. Hands down, we just know this now, don't we? We just... It's got to a point now, it's got absolutely crazy, isn't it? I mean, we're stood here now looking at the skies, and we just know that they're hiding objects. All the time. They need to give up. They really do now. A message to NASA. Come on. Noah, you need to stop this now and just let humanity prepare for this huge event. Because leaving us in the dark and leaving us to fend for ourselves on the land at the very last moment is absolute pure evilness. It's absolutely wrong. We really need to alert a lot of people, billions around the world. We really do now. It's so important, isn't it? Because this isn't our natural skies anymore. We're seeing these strange clouds, chemtrails. We're seeing these HAARP-produced clouds that are moving the opposite way when I mean, it's all coming on top for it now, isn't it? Here's another cam as well, the Wainwright Southeast cam in Alaska. These advisory weather cams are really good because we catch a lot of things. I mean, it's 9:52 AM here on this cam, and again, you're not seeing natural clouds. And also, you can see that the sun is burning far too much there on that cam image, burning through those chemtrails. And it really gets me because eventually those chemtrails will just burn away completely. They will just be burnt completely. There's no other hope, because it's like as I said earlier on, a vicious circle, isn't it? Because eventually, I mean, it's like fighting a losing battle, because eventually the chems will get weaker and weaker as the sun is becoming hotter and hotter and being more agitated by the binary twin nemesis and this huge celestial object Nibiru that's causing problems to our Earth. I mean, it's all just going to come to a big, huge collapse, isn't it? I mean, you can see clearly on this screen they're poisoning us as well, aren't they? I mean, it's just harming humanity and plant life and animal. I mean, everything is just. I just get to a point, you know, where we're seeing a lot of things now, aren't we? I mean, here on this cam image as well, southwest now, the opposite side. I mean, there's something else coming up on the horizon there. Can you see this? Something else. And they're chemtrailing here as well. I mean, I went into a place called, as I said earlier on another video, I went to Maplethorpe on my short break, and I saw the moon. And I saw the sun at the 3 o'clock position, and on the horizon, east, I saw them chemtrailing the horizon. They blasted the skies. They're hiding something all the time. They're hiding the horizon so we don't get to see it. Every single day. They're doing it all the time. Okay, this is another image on the cam. Okay, now it's the southeast. We've got another celestial body on the screen. Now, you can see the natural clouds on the horizon being burnt away, doing absolutely nothing anymore now. And to the right hand side you can see the chems. These are chemtrails. Now, we're in deep trouble, aren't we? Because we've got this heavenly body showing itself. I mean, if I flip through the cam here, you will see this. Here it is. There's an object, a red celestial body, to be Nibiru. You can see lines. There's something there, isn't there? I mean, look at that. I mean, the sun is on the opposite side, for crying out loud. This is a celestial body. This isn't any lens flare. This isn't anything that's supposed to be there. This isn't Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury. I mean, look at it. It's a huge red object that's incoming now. Look at the size of it. The sun again is on the opposite side. We're seeing those red reflections all over the skies. It's here now. If I go through the cam, you will see it and then it fades off. Watch this. You see this? It fades off, goes away. You can see that still, can't you? I mean, you can see those chems coming through as well. I mean, this dark shadow here on the top right hand corner as well. And this is a heavenly body. This is not anything else. This is an object that's up there. Okay? The sun hasn't even come through yet. I mean, look at it. I'm going to zoom into this. Okay, I've zoomed in. Okay? And you can see this, can't you? Very clear, isn't it? It really is. And I, again, just want to wake people up. I really do want to wake people up. As Mr. David Dobbs says, he's seeing these objects. he goes to France to chill out, because the UK now is a lot of negativity about right now, and you do need time to breathe. You do need to go on holiday. You need to have a break from it all, get away from it all, and find somewhere peaceful to sit down and relax, and on a mountain or a hill or something, on the beach, just chill out by yourself and just breathe and just feel the nature around you and feel the differences that are occurring around you, and you will see the changes all the time. When you look on the horizons, once they've done their chemtrailing, look to the east, the northeast, the southeast, look to these other parts, and you will see behind those chemtrails and those lower clouds a very thick red reflection coming from one part of the sky on the horizon. You will see this. And we're getting closer and closer to the truth, aren't we? We really are now, because these objects are going to be viewed by billions of people, and when they do, they're going to want questions. They're going to ask so many questions as well. They're going to want answers all the time, and government will just be hiding. They will run down there underground, leaving us to fend and look after ourselves. I mean, it's going to be anarchy. It really is. And I just pray for the people, the public, to please wake up to this truth, this event that's incoming to us now. Just going to go through it again, this image, for you to see this. And then it disappears. You can just barely see it now, can't you, on the screen? Okay, I'm going to go to my last image now. That's a shame, because this image of this cam that I've been going to for the past week was showing some very, very good real evidence that there was something that was up there in the skies with the sun. I mean, the reflections and everything as well, the chemtrails, but they've stopped this image, and I believe they've done this on purpose. They do this all the time, and on only just the other night video I said that the NASA cams were they shut them down when they see that radiation image come through, when you can see them red reflections on the earth. I mean, there's a lot going on now, isn't there, in the world? So I apologise that they've taken down this image, and I will keep my eye on this cam, and once it's uploaded again and works, I will be back onto it to check this out for you. This is another image. It's very evident, isn't it, what they're doing up there? And it's, I mean, you can see that plasma coming from the sun burning through those chemtrails. I mean, look on the land, it's just far too dark. I've said this 1,000 times. It's far too dark. It's just, the sun is twisted. The simulator is darkening. I mean, the shadows of those heavenly bodies are eclipsing our earth all the time. I mean, it's all a mess now, isn't it? And it's just continuing, as everybody still on the ground will just carry on their way and just disbelieve the truth of what's going on. Here's my last image. I just want to show this to you as well before I go southeast. Okay, now this colouring in the skies is from that brown dwarf star Nemesis. It really is. We're seeing pink red haze reflections from Nibiru. We see other orangey type of reflections from Helion. We see other reflections from the blue Kachina. I mean, there's so much out there now. The space weather is, I mean, we're seeing all these colours now, aren't we? And I really want you all to be safe. Please prepare for this. It just is so important now to save lives for this whole situation that's happening and occurring up in our skies now. I believe now that other hundreds and thousands of people, and hopefully in the future millions, will see this before and have time before this